Once upon a time, in a quiet village beside a deep green forest, there lived a kind husband and wife. They loved each other very much, but their hearts carried one wish. They wished for a child. Every day, the wife would look out of her window toward the forest, dreaming of becoming a mother. One morning, she noticed something glowing deep inside the forest. Hidden behind tall trees was a mysterious garden filled with shimmering plants. At its center grew a magical herb with sparkling green leaves and tiny purple flowers. As days passed, the woman grew weaker, and the village healer said only the magical herb could save her. One night, filled with love and worry, the husband crept into the garden and carefully picked the glowing leaves. The magic worked. Soon after, a baby girl was born. She had bright green eyes and soft golden hair that shimmered like sunshine. The parents named her Rapunzel. But the garden belonged to a mysterious woman named Mother Gothel. She appeared at the couple's home and demanded the child in return for forgiveness. With broken hearts, the parents agreed. Mother Gothel took Rapunzel deep into the forest to a tall stone tower hidden among the trees. The tower had no door and no stairs, only one small window high above the ground. Years passed, and Rapunzel grew up inside the tower. She painted, read books, and sang sweet songs. Her golden hair grew longer every year. Every year on her birthday, Rapunzel saw glowing lights rising into the sky from a distant village. They floated like golden stars, filling her heart with wonder. One day, a young prince traveling through the forest heard Rapunzel's beautiful singing and followed the sound to the hidden tower. Over time, the prince returned again and again. He brought stories of the outside world, of rivers, markets, children laughing, and lanterns glowing in the night sky. Rapunzel listened eagerly, her curiosity growing with every visit. But Mother Gothel soon discovered that Rapunzel had been seeing a visitor. Angrily, she cut Rapunzel's long golden hair and banished her to a faraway wilderness. Rapunzel wandered alone through forests and fields, scared but determined. She survived by finding berries, fresh water, and shelter. Even in her fear, hope never left her heart. The prince, desperate to find Rapunzel, wandered through forests and valleys, calling her name. He never gave up hope, guided by the memory of her sweet voice. Finally, he heard her sweet singing floating across the trees. Guided by the sound, he found Rapunzel, and they embraced, overjoyed to be reunited at last. Together, Rapunzel and the prince returned to the kingdom. The people celebrated their arrival, and Rapunzel was joyfully reunited with her parents. The floating lanterns filled the night sky once more, and Rapunzel began a new life, full of love, hope, and happiness. Deep beneath the wide blue ocean, there was a magical kingdom full of light, color, and wonder, where mermaids lived peacefully among glowing corals and dancing fish. Ariel was not like the other mermaids. She was curious, adventurous, and always eager to explore new places and discover secrets hidden deep within the sea. Ariel's voice was the most beautiful sound in the ocean. When she sang, even the waves seemed to listen, and the sea felt calm and full of magic. By Ariel's side was her best friend, Flounder. Together, they explored the ocean every day, laughing, swimming, and sharing dreams of adventure. Ariel often gazed toward the surface of the ocean, wondering about the human world above, even though she knew her father had warned her to stay away. One night, Ariel saw a huge human ship floating above the sea. Her heart beat fast with excitement as she watched the humans from below. Suddenly, the sky grew dark, and a terrible storm shook the ocean. The ship rocked wildly as thunder roared and waves crashed loudly. In the chaos of the storm, a young prince fell into the cold ocean. Without thinking of danger, Ariel rushed forward to help him. Ariel held the prince carefully and swam with all her strength. Her heart was filled with worry, but she refused to give up. At last, Ariel brought the prince safely to the shore. As she looked at him beneath the moonlight, her heart felt something completely new. Ariel softly sang beside the shore, hoping her beautiful voice would protect the prince and guide him safely back to life. When Ariel saw humans coming closer, she quickly hid. She watched quietly as the prince slowly opened his eyes. Ariel took one last look at the prince before returning to the sea. She knew he would never know who saved him. Back beneath the sea, Ariel could not stop thinking about the prince. Her heart felt torn between the ocean she loved and the world above. King Triton soon noticed his daughter's sadness. With a firm voice, he reminded Ariel that humans and mermaids lived in separate worlds. King Triton warned Ariel that the human world was dangerous and full of pain. Though she understood his fear, her heart still dreamed. That night, Ariel cried silently beneath the sea. She loved her father, but her heart longed for a life she could not reach. In the dark corners of the ocean, whispers spread about a sea witch who could grant wishes, but always at a terrible price. Though afraid, Ariel swam toward the dark cave. She knew danger waited inside, but her hope was stronger than her fear. In the depths of the cave, the sea witch Ursula appeared. Her smile was wicked, and her magic was powerful and dangerous. Ursula spoke sweetly and promised Ariel a chance to live as a human. Her words sounded kind, but danger hid behind her smile. The price was terrible. Ariel would have to give up her beautiful voice, the thing she loved most, in exchange for human legs. Ariel was scared, but her heart was full of hope. Thinking of the prince, she bravely agreed to Ursula's dangerous deal. Ursula began her spell, filling the cave with powerful magic. The water shook as the spell wrapped tightly around Ariel. Ariel tried to speak, but no sounds came out. Her beautiful voice was gone, locked away inside Ursula's dark magic. The magic was painful and strong. Ariel felt her body changing as the spell turned her mermaid tail into human legs. When the spell was complete, Ursula sent Ariel away. The sea grew dark as Ariel drifted, weak and silent. When morning came, Ariel awoke on the shore. She was no longer a mermaid, but a human, just as she had wished. Ariel stared in amazement at her new legs. She could walk on land, but she remembered she must earn true love to stay human. Though she could not speak, Ariel did not lose hope. She believed kindness and courage would help her find her true love. The prince soon found Ariel near the shore. Though she could not speak, her gentle smile made him feel that she was someone very special. The prince took Ariel to his palace so she could rest safely. Everything around her felt new, bright, and exciting. Walking on land was difficult for Ariel. Each step hurt, but she smiled bravely and continued trying. The people of the palace treated Ariel with great kindness. Even without words, her gentle heart spoke for her. The prince felt confused. He remembered a beautiful voice from the night of the storm, but Ariel could not speak. Even without her voice, Ariel felt joy. She loved dancing, laughing, and sharing quiet moments with the prince. Far beneath the sea, Ursula watched closely. She knew Ariel was growing closer to the prince, and she was not pleased. Ariel remembered the sea witch's warning. If she did not receive true love's kiss soon, she would lose everything. The prince planned a grand celebration. He hoped the joyful day would help him remember the girl who saved him. As the sun set, Ariel made a silent wish. She hoped that love would find her before time ran out. Ursula grew angry as she watched Ariel and the prince grow closer. She decided to trick the prince and steal Ariel's happiness forever. Using her dark magic, Ursula disguised herself as a human woman. Around her neck hung a necklace holding Ariel's stolen voice. The prince heard the beautiful voice he remembered from the stormy night. He did not know it belonged to Ariel and fell under the spell. Ariel's heart broke as she watched the prince drift away. Without her voice, she could not tell him the truth. The palace prepared for a wedding. Ariel realized time had almost run out, and her heart filled with fear. Ariel's ocean friends had not forgotten her. They rushed to help, knowing she could not face danger alone. With courage and teamwork, Ariel's friends broke the spell. The magic holding Ariel's voice was finally destroyed. Ariel's voice returned at last. As she spoke, the prince recognized the girl who had saved his life. Furious and defeated, Ursula revealed her true form. The sea shook as she tried to take revenge. King Triton rose from the sea to protect his daughter. Without fear, he placed himself between Ariel and the angry sea witch. Ursula was finally defeated by the courage and teamwork of Ariel, her friends, and King Triton. The dark magic that threatened the ocean vanished forever. Ariel was finally reunited with the prince. Their hearts recognized each other, and a beautiful friendship blossomed into love. With a gentle kiss, the prince's love broke the last spell. Ariel felt her heart overflow with joy and magic. The palace celebrated Ariel and the prince. Everyone was filled with joy, knowing that love and courage had won. Ariel said goodbye to her underwater home. Though she would miss the sea, she was ready for a new life on land. Each day, Ariel learned new things about the human world. Her heart was full of hope, happiness, and adventure. Even in her new life, Ariel never forgot her friends beneath the sea. They remained close, sharing adventures across their worlds. King Triton gave his blessing for Ariel's new life. Love and understanding had bridged the gap between the ocean and the land. Ariel and the prince were happier than ever. Every moment was filled with laughter, love, and the magic of friendship. And so, Ariel found her true love, living happily on land while cherishing her friends and family under the sea. Her dreams had come true, and the ocean's magic would always remain in her heart. In a small European town filled with cobblestone streets and colorful rooftops lived two best friends, Kai and Gerda. Their homes stood side by side, and between their windows bloomed bright red roses that seemed to smile in the sunshine. Kai and Gerda promised each other that no matter what happened, they would always stay friends. They believed nothing could ever come between them. Far away, dark magic created an evil mirror that twisted everything good into something ugly. One day, the mirror shattered into millions of tiny pieces that flew into the sky. The sharp pieces fell over the world like invisible snow, landing in hearts and eyes without anyone noticing. One tiny shard of the evil mirror entered Kai's eye, and another pierced his heart. Suddenly, the world looked cold and ugly to him, and the warmth inside him began to disappear. Kai began to speak cruelly and laugh at things he once loved. Gerda felt sad and confused. Winter slowly wrapped the town in white. Snow fell softly from the sky, covering rooftops, trees, and streets. The cold grew stronger, and Kai stood outside as the chill of winter settled deep into his heart. One snowy night, a tall woman dressed in shining white appeared. She was the Snow Queen, cold and powerful. The Snow Queen placed Kai on her icy sleigh and carried him far away to the frozen north. The next morning, Kai was gone. Gerda searched everywhere, calling his name with tears in her eyes. Though afraid, Gerda decided she would search for Kai, no matter how far she had to go. Gerda climbed into a small wooden boat, and the river gently carried her onward. Gerda reached a magical garden where flowers whispered sweet words, trying to make her forget Kai. When Gerda remembered Kai and cried, the magic faded and the garden released her. In a dark forest, Gerda met a fierce robber girl who lived wildly among the trees. The robber girl saw Gerda's kindness and decided to help her instead of harming her. A friendly reindeer agreed to carry Gerda across the frozen lands to the Snow Queen's palace. Together, they traveled through icy winds, guided by stars and hope. At last, Gerda reached the Snow Queen's palace, silent and shining like glass. Inside, Kai sat arranging icy shapes, his heart frozen and his eyes empty. Gerda hugged Kai and cried warm tears of love that melted the ice in his heart. The mirror pieces fell away, and Kai remembered everything. He smiled at Gerda once again. Hand in hand, Kai and Gerda traveled back home, stronger and wiser than before. Back home, the roses bloomed brighter than ever. Kai and Gerda knew that love and kindness could defeat even the coldest winter. Love, kindness, and courage can melt even the coldest heart.